Good morning, students. In today's class of service marketing, we'll be studying about a new concept, that is servicescapes. In the previous class, we have studied about a couple of classes. We have studied about what is service strategy and ways of forming this service strategy, an efficient service strategy. Let us recap what we have studied in the previous classes, and then we'll start with servicescapes. Service strategy. A service strategy is more customer centric and is centered on the usage of customers and their relationship. So what is the aim of service strategies? To see that the service strategy is focused on the customers and it is centered on the customers, and what the customers, in which way the customers use this service, and what is the relationship with the customers. All these things come under service strategy. An efficient or effective service strategy should focus on how business handles its customer as well as properly train the employees. So what is an effective strategy? When we say a service organization has an effective strategy, we mean that the service strategy is focused on how the business handles its customers, how the customer are dealt with, what are the needs of the customer, what are the expectations of the customers, whether the service is able to fulfill the needs and expectation of the customer, whether the customer is satisfied with the after availing the service from the service organization. So in this way, the service strategy focuses on how business handles its customers, as well as another part is that how the service organization traces employees. So training is very important because these are the people, the certain people in service organization, they deliver the service to the customer. So they come in direct contact with the customers. So these people, those who come in direct contact with the customers, this is a part of interactive marketing where they interact with customers, and the whole delivery process, service delivery process depends upon these people. So these people should be trained properly regarding the service vision, the service strategy. Then only these people, these employees will be able to perform better and will be able to satisfy the needs and wants of the customer and meet the expectations of the customer. So that is the reason an effective service strategy focuses on how business handles its customers as well as how the service organization properly trains its employees. So there are certain steps that has been chalked out to understand how, what are the various steps to create an efficient service strategy. If we want to have an efficient service strategy for our organization, service organization, then we should be able to follow all the steps. First is crafting a service vision. Whenever we are trying to make or chalk out a service strategy, an efficient service strategy, the first thing that we have to do, we should have a service vision, because without vision we will not be able to understand what are the goals of the organization, will not be understand the what are the accomplishments the organization wants to have. So without a vision, they will not be able to frame a service strategy. The first step for having an efficient service strategy is therefore crafting a service vision, and this service vision is something which should be communicated to all the employees working in the organization, all the stakeholders working in the organization, so that they understand the vision of the service organization. Then comes contemplating the customer needs. Customer needs is also very important to understand, because service strategy is based on, focused on the customers and how the customer use the services and what is the relationship they are having with the service organization. So when we understand the needs of the customers, then we will be able to satisfy those customers and see that those customers expectations are met. So the second thing that has to be kept in mind while creating an efficient service strategy is contemplating the customer needs, rightly contemplating the customers. Next comes the third step in which helps or enhances in making an efficient service strategies, right hiring. The people who are entering into the organization, the incumbents, they must be properly hired and trained, because without proper hiring, we will not understand who is the right person for the job, and if there is no fitment of the employee to the job, then the employee will not perform well. And moreover, there are certain hard skills that can be easily decided, like the technical skills, but there are certain soft skills that has to be inside the personality of the employee. So while hiring, the soft skills has to also be seen, whether the employee is service oriented, whether the employee is diligent enough, is will follow the rules of the organization and will undertake all the training that is required to provide maximum satisfaction to the customer. So right hiring is one of the ways that ensures that whatever service strategy we are talking about, the employees are present in the organization who will accomplish this service strategy. So right hiring is very very important to create an efficient service strategy. Then comes goal setting for the service team. Goal setting is required because without goal setting, without having a goal, the organization cannot have a proper service strategy. So the service team who is there to deliver service to the customers should be have a particular goal. So goal setting is also important for having an efficient service strategy. Then comes the constant training and development. As we have already understood, in effective strategy, requirements for effective service strategy is properly training the employees. So constant training and development has to be provided to the employees who come in contact or encounter service, come in service encounter with the customers, and these people should be trained well enough in order to see that they are able to satisfy the needs of the customers. Then comes the accountability. A certain kind of accountability should also be placed upon the employees, otherwise the employees will not be serious enough to provide the best services to the customer. So accountability is also very important to having an create or have a efficient service strategy. Then comes awards and recognition. This is the last step, and this is very important because whenever employees feel understand that awards and recognition is given to those employees who are working along with the customers and providing the best service to the customers, then other people will be also inspired to provide better customer service, and they'll try to provide better services to the customers in order to satisfy the customers more. So these are the ways. So in this, awards and recognition also helps in creating an efficient service strategy. So these are the things that we have read in the previous two classes. So what is service strategy? What are the various steps for creating an efficient service strategy? Now moving to in today's topic, that is service scapes. The service scape is a concept that was developed by Booms and Bittner to emphasize the impact of the physical environment in which the service process takes place. So Booms and Bittner were the first people who emphasized the impact of the servicescapes, and it simply means the physical environment in which the service process takes place. Servicescapes means the physical environment in which a service process takes place. Booms and Bittner have also defined what is servicescapes. What is servicescapes? Servicescapes is an environment in which the service is assembled and in which the seller and customer interact, combined with tangible commodities that facilitate performance or communication of the service. So let us break down this definition. So Booms and Bittner says servicescape is the environment in which the service is assembled and in which the seller and customer interact. So it refers to the physical environment in which the service process takes place, where the service is assembled, and the customer and the seller. Seller means the service organization, and customer is the final customer who avails the service. They come and they have a service encounter and they interact with one another. It is combined with the tangible commodities. So service is intangible, but there are certain tangible commodities like physical evidence can be used in order to tangibilize the service. So these tangible commodities can be used in this physical environment in order to facilitate the performance and communicate the communication of the service. So these tangible commodities that is used in order to facilitate the performance of the service, to see that the service is given in a better way and to communicate about the service. So to tell the customer that the service that they are going to receive from the service organization will be of top-notch quality. So in brief, we can say, as per Booms and Bittner, service scapes means the physical environment in which the service process takes place. So uh, it this is the general definition, but if we try to explain it detail, I would understand what are included in service escape, then we can say it includes the facilities exterior, like these are the tangible commodities like the landscape, like the exterior design, the signage, the parking facility provided, the surrounding and with. So all these exterior things are there. These are the tangible commodities which helps in performance and communication of the service, and also includes the facilities interiors, like the interior design, the decor of the equipment, the signage, the layout of the service place, then becomes the air quality, the temperature, the ambience in which the service is provided. So all these are the facilities of the interior facilities, interior attributes of the facilities that also become a part of the servicescape. So these facilities exterior and facilities interior, they are included in the servicescapes, and this helps in performing the service better, in giving a service in a better way, and also communicating to the customer that the service that they're going to receive is of top-notch quality. So this is included in the servicescapes. Servicescapes along with tangibles like business cards. So apart from this interior facilities, exterior and interior, there are certain other tangibles that can also be used in order to assure people that the service that they're going to receive is of top-notch quality, and the service that they're going availing will help to satisfy their needs and wants and meet their expectations. So what are the kind of tangibles that is used? That is sometimes generally that is business cards, the stationery that is used, the billing statements, the employee dress or uniform that they are having, the brochures, the web portal, and the virtual servicescapes forms the physical evidence of the marketing of services. So all these things, they provide a physical evidence to the service. So this is physical evidence we have studied as the 7 P's of service marketing. The physical evidence is there. So all these things, they provide the physical evidence for the service, and they tangibilize the whole service. So when the customer avails the service, he is satisfied that the service is going to receive will be of better quality. So these are also included in the service care. Then the nature of the service activity and the service consumption experience shot by the consumers will influence the design of a service. So in which way the service activity takes place and the consumption experience is taken, and how the customers are understanding the service consumption experience, what experience they are having, this will influence the design of a service script. So if these things are good, then the service script will be good. Whereas if the service activity and the service consumption experience is not good and the customers are not satisfied, then the design of a service script needs to be changed. The basic principle that guides the design is user friendliness. Therefore, service companies should first identify the users for of their service. So what happens in order to have a better service script, in order to provide the best services to the customer, if you want to design a service script, then we have to, the first basic guidelines or the guiding principle is that the design should be service script design should be such that it is very user friendly, because when it is becomes user friendly, then the customers will be feeling at ease and they will be interested to avail the service. So therefore the service company need to understand and identify who the users of this service scripts will be. Then they will be understand and design the service script better. They will understand what is the requirements of these customers, and they will be able to make the whole service script much more user friendly. The needs of ultimate users and requirements of various functional units must be incorporated into designing of the service script. So while designing the complete service script, the ultimate needs of the ultimate users and requirement that has to be kept, of the various functions that has to be kept in mind and should be incorporated while designing the service scripts, because without understanding the needs of the customers or who the real users of the service will are, then we will not be able to make the whole service script user friendly, and we may not be able to understand the total service nature of the service activity, or neither we can understand the service consumption experience of the customers. So all these things help in building a better service scape. Now, what are the various objectives of service scape? So it is also important to understand what are the various objectives of service scape. Why the service scape is very, very important for the organization, service organization. So the objectives and goals of service scapes vary depending on whether the service firm's primary focus is on customers, employees, or the firm itself. So the way we design the service scapes, or why the service scape is important. So these things depends upon three things. Like if the focus is on customers, the objective of service scapes is different. If the focus is on employees, the service scapes will be different. And if the focus is on the firm itself, then also the service scapes will be different. So based on these three focal points, we can say decide the objectives of service scape. So let us understand the focus on customers. Whenever we say the service scape is focused on customers, if the service scape is designed to focus on the needs of customer, then the service company has three primary goals it may want to accomplish with the service scape. So whenever the service scape is designed in such a way that their aim is to focus on customers, the needs and wants of the customers, to see whether the customers' expectations are fulfilled or not, then the service company has three primary goals that they want to accomplish by having these services. First is customer attraction, You have to attract more and more customer into the service organization. That is one of the main primary goals. Second primary goal is customer satisfaction, because once the customer is even attracted to the company and avails the service, if the service is not given up to the mark, or if the service is not as per the requirements or desire or expectation of the customers, then the customer will not be satisfied and will not come for repeat purchases. So customer satisfaction is very very important. Also, customer satisfaction ensures that the consumers will move ahead and go and spread positive word of mouth. So that is also reason why customer satisfaction is one of the second primary goals when the service scape is designed, keeping in mind the keeping customers in mind. Then the third primary goal comes is customer retention. We have to retain the customers. In service organization is very important. Loyalty plays a very important part in service organization. So customers should able to retain these customers. So this is also very very important. Now, moving to another point that will be shown, that is a uh, focus on employees. When the service scape is based on employees, what happens if the firm has chosen a technical service quality? The primary, if the focus on employees, if the firm has chosen technical service quality, the primary goal of the service scape is to focus on the needs of the employees. So if the firm is focusing on the technical service quality, then the primary goal of service scape is to focus on the needs of the employees, including the employee satisfaction, the employee motivation, and employee operational efficiency. If employees are happy with the service scape in which they work, they will produce higher level of service. So whenever the service scape is based upon or focused upon the employees, it is mainly focused to see whether the employees are happy or not, whether the employees are satisfied or not. Because if the employees are happy, and then they will be performing better in the service scape, and they will be producing higher level of service. So this is also important. Then comes focus on the firm. When the service scape is focused on the firm, so what happens, the firms using cost efficiency and operational approach will want to design their physical facility to focus on the needs of the firm. The objectives of the physical design is to provide optimal cost efficiency and productivity. So whenever there is a focus on the firm, then it is mostly on the see the needs of the firm, and the primary design of the service scape should be such that it will optimize the cost efficiency and the productivity. So both the cost efficiency and productivity will be there in the service scape. So that should be the focus when the service scape is based or designed based on the focus on firm. Example, the customer contact area of a fast food restaurant should be designed to maximize the number of customers that can be served. So obviously, when more people can be served in the restaurant, that means that the cost efficiency will be more and the productivity of the service firm will be, or the restaurant will be more. So these are the ways in which the service objectives and service scripts are made based upon the focus on customers, employees, and on focus on the firm. Now moving to the various roles, whenever the service scapes is designed, the service scape is focused on either the customers or employees or uh, the firm, there are certain roles of the service scape that also have to be kept in mind. First is the package. So what comes in the service scape? The first package under that is package. Here the package means the service stimuli which evoke a particular sensory or emotional reaction in the customer. So what is the service package that is being given to the customers? This is the first thing that is to be kept in mind, that attract the customers. This acts as a stimuli and this evokes a sensory and emotional reaction in the customers. Whenever the service package is such that it is very enticing enough for the customers will be more inclined to purchase the service or avail the service from the service organization. So the packaging is very very important. The package of the service is very very important. Then comes the service scape is the outward appearance of the service organization, and thus can be critical in forming initial impressions on setting up the customer expressions. So this package in the package that is has a main role in the service scape, it is forms the outward appearance of the service organization. It attracts or entices the customers into the organization to avail the services from the organization. It is very critical because it helps in forming a very initial impression on setting up the customer's expectation. The customer expectations are set up depending upon this service, this package. So this package forms as an outward appearance of the service organization of the servicescape, and also forms and develops the initial impressions on the minds of the customers. And also the customers are understand or realize whether the service organization, whether the service packages, if they're availing this service will satisfy or meet their expectation. This is very important, because this creates a perception in the minds of the customers. This package role is particularly important for creating expectations and attracting new customers, and while building an image of the service organization. It is a vital metaphor for the intangible service. So this package is why it is very important, because it creates a expectation in the minds of the customer, and it helps in attracting more customers to the service organization. More people are interested in purchasing this service or availing the service from the service organization. It also helps in building the image of the service organization. This package of the which is important role in the servicescape. This helps in building the image of the organization. So this acts as a metaphor, as a vital metaphor of the intangible service. Because the service is intangible, this package in a way tangibilizes the service. It creates an impression in the minds of the customers, and the first last it is always understood that the first impressions have lasting impact. So this creates an initial impact or impression in the minds of the customers. The customers are attracted towards the organization by looking at the package. Now coming to the second role of the servicescape is the facilitator. The servicescape can also serve as a facilitator in adding the performances of persons in the environment. So it facilitates the people working in the organization to improve their performance, to see that they perform better, to see that they're in a position to avail, to provide better services to the customers availing this service. How the setting is designed can enhance or inhibit the efficient flow of activities in the service setting, making it easier or harder for customers and employees to accomplish their goals. So this facilitator part of service role, that is the role of servicescape, is very important, because this helps in order to enhance or inhibit. It will either increase or decrease, enhance or inhibit the efficient flow of activities in the service setting. So this facilitator role helps of the servicescape helps in either giving a better efficient flow, of making the flow of services much, a flow of activities and the services much more efficient, or it will try to constrain, inhibit, restrict this flow of service. So this is one of the roles that happens with the facilitator roles. Also, it makes it either easier or harder for the customers and employees to accomplish their roles, because if the setting is such that it is the flow of activities there is not efficient in the service process, in the service setting, then it becomes very harder for the customer or the employees to accomplish their goals. The customers will not be able to get satisfaction, and the employees will not be able to perform well and provide better services to the customers. So it will be bad. So it is very important. However, if the facilitator role is such that the servicescape is designed in such a way, that the service setting is designed in such a way that there is efficient flow of activities in the service setting, then it becomes easier on the part of the employees to accomplish their goals of providing the better services to the customers, and also it becomes easier from the part of the employees, customers, to see that their expectations are met. A well-designed functional facility can enhance the service pleasure and experience from the customer's point of view, and pleasure to perform from employee's point of view. So what happens if the design is such, if the servicescape is a functional facility is such, servicescape or the functional facility is such, is designed such a way that it provides service pleasure and experience from the both from the customer's point of view and pleasure of performance from the employee point of view. So the customer is will at ease, and the the employee is at ease and is able to perform better. Similarly, the customer is at ease and he will get maximum service pleasure and experience from the experience. So from the customer's point of view and from the employee's point of view, this functional facility is very important. On the other hand, a poor and inefficient design can frustrate both the customers and employees. Similarly, if the service design uh, facility design or the servicescape is not properly designed, then what happens? It will create chaos, it will create frustrate, it will frustrate the customers and employees. So this is also one of the important roles of the servicescape, the facilitator role. Now coming to the third role of servicescape is socializer role. What is this? The design of the servicescape aids in socialization of both employees and customers in the sense that it helps to convey expected roles, behaviors, and relationships. So it helps the employees and customers to interact in a better way to convey the expected roles and the behavior and relationships. So this is in which way the socializer is very, very important. Now, if we understand by giving an example, for example, a new employee in a professional service firm would come to understand his position in the hierarchy, partially by noting his office assignments, the quality of his office furnishings, and his location relative to others in the organization. So, in this way, this one way it acts as a socializer. The servicescape acts as a socializer role, plays the role of a socializer. The design of the facility can also suggest the customer what their role is relative to the employees, what part of the servicescapes they are welcome in, and how they should behave while in the environment, and what type of interactions are encouraged. So this role of socialization role of servicescape is also help to the customers, because the design of the facility, how the servicescape is designed, or design of the facility, it suggests to the customer what is the role, his role relative to the employees, what is his role that is expected by the service organization, what part of servicescapes they are welcoming, in which parts of the servicescapes of the physical environment the employees are the customers are welcomed, or to which part till what level they are able to enter into the, or in the service delivery they are able to enter into the service process. They also understand how they have to behave in a particular environment, and also they will understand what kind of interaction that is encouraged by the service organization, what kind of interactions between the customer and the employees that the company encourages. So in this way, the role of the servicescape in the socialization is very, very important. It helps both the employees and customers to understand each other's expected behavior and roles, and what is the relationship that they have, and this facilitates in providing better services to the customers. So this, in this way, the socializer, the role of servicescape as a socializer is also very, very important. Now coming to another role of the servicescape, that is the differentiator. So what happens? The design of the physical facility of the servicescape can differentiate a service from its competitors and signal the market segment. So the kind of physical facility and the servicescape that the service organization having is very, very important, because it helps in differentiating the service organization from its customers. It may stand out from the customers, to have something unique that the competitors is not having. So they helps to stand out from the competitors, and also signal the market segment, understand which market segment they are targeting in order to signal that market segment. So this role of the servicescape is also act as a differentiator, and is also helps to differentiate the service and service company, and also to target certain segments of the market which they want to service. The differential factor of the service organization can be used to reposition the service firm and to attract new market segments. So this, the differentiator role of the servicescape, this is very helpful for the service organization, because the service organization, this differentiator role can be used in order to reposition the service organization. If a particular service organization is already positioned in the minds of the customers, but they want to change their position, or to reposition themselves in the minds of the customers, or change their perception in the minds of the customers, they can reposition the service room. And also by repositioning this service organization, they can attract new market segments, they can enter into new market segments and attract employees, attract customers from this market segment. So in this way, the role of servicescapes acts as a differentiator and helps to reposition the service organization, and to enter into new market segment, also to attract market people in the existing market segment, and differentiate from its competitors. In shopping malls, the signage, the color used in the decor and displays, and the type of music playing from a store signals the intended market segment. So if we take the example of a servicescape, then if you take an example of a shopping mall, or a particular shop in a shopping mall, the kind of design, the signage, the color, and the decor, and the furnishings that is used in the shop, this will also, the kind of music that is playing, this will also help in attracting the intended market segment. If the particular shop is intended to attract people from a younger generation, the kind of music playing will be much more peppy, it will be much more loud, the kind of decor that will be used will be much more interesting, much more enticing. Similarly, when the particular shop is trying to attract much more senior citizen, the kind of music, the kind of decor and the signage that will be used will be different. So in this way, the physical facility or the servicescapes can be designed in such a way that it will act as a differentiator for the service organization. So these are the various roles of the servicescapes. So in today's class, we have understood the complete topic of servicescape. What is servicescapes? What are the objectives? What are the various roles? We have understood. And please go through the video. If you have any doubts, no need to panic. Contact me. And finally, I will be sending you the notes digitally. And finally, thank you for your attention.